A backup of your website is only useful if you can restore it. Perhaps you need to transfer your web host, or even move the site from a development server to a live server. To begin with, take a brand new backup of your website. Once the backup is complete, go to Manage Backups and download the backup file to your computer. Now that we've downloaded the backup file, we need an additional program called Kickstart, which you can find at the ABTW05 website. Go to Downloads, scroll down to Akiba Kickstart, and click Download to download the file to our computer. Here we can see that the Kickstart program is a zip file, and we need to extract that. On most operating systems, you can do that simply by double-clicking on the file name. We can see we now have a new folder with all the Kickstart files in. The only one that you actually need is the kickstart.php file. All the rest are language translations. We now need to transfer the kickstart.php and our backup to our brand new web host. And to do that, we'll use an FTP program. I'm going to use FileZilla, but you can use any FTP program that you like. To begin with, connect to your new server. Once connected, make sure that you are in the public HTML or the web root of your server. Now, we need to transfer the backup file from our local computer to our live server. I'm just going to pick that up and drag it across. We can see the upload is taking place. We now need to take that kickstart.php file and do exactly the same thing. Select it and drag it across. So let's go back to our web browser and go to our brand new website. As you can see, I have a holding page in place to show that the website's coming soon. So just go to the special URL for kickstart.php. The Kickstart program is now running. Kickstart is not an installation program. It's a special archive extraction tool. We can click here to remove this message, and we can see here that it has detected the archive file. We have several methods of extracting the files, but on most good hosts we can simply use the hybrid method. And finally, click Start to begin the extract process. Kickstart has now extracted the backup file and provides a link to the installer that was built into that backup. The installer is a very simple process. We begin with the required settings. As you can see, they're all set to yes. If any are set to no, you won't be able to proceed, and you need to speak to your web hosts to rectify the errors. We can now click Next, and now need to enter the database connection details that I've got from my web host. Enter the server hostname and your database username and password. And finally, the database name that you want to install your website on. Again, this is something that your host will have provided to you, or you will have set up yourself within your host's control panel. And click Next. The restoration process of the database has now been processed, and we can click to continue. The next screen lets you set some of the site parameters, such as the site name, any tagline, and to confirm the new website URL. You can also change and set the super user admin details. When you are satisfied, click Next to continue. Now what we need to do is close this window, and we're now back at the Akiba Kickstart program, and click on Cleanup. This will remove the kickstart.php file and that big backup archive. Now that we're done, we can visit our website, and here we can see that the website has now been transferred from our old hosting account to our new hosting account.